Hey, this is Cherie King, your wellness advocate, and I wanted to do this video today in order to discuss vitamin and mineral supplements. Okay, now there is a belief among a lot of people, that liquid supplements are superior or better than pills. Okay, and as I was writing this blog post that you see pictured here, are liquid vitamins better than pills? And when I first initially started off, naturally I came from the stance that yeah, they are. Okay, it's a liquid, and pills are indigestible and they don't break down, and this, that, and the other. But as I started to dig a little deeper, I realized something. And that is that just because a supplement or a medication or whatever is in liquid form does not necessarily mean that you will absorb it better. Okay, and I'm not saying that because of the composition of the product, but I'm saying that because there are different factors that are at play that go above and beyond whether or not the supplement is a liquid or a solid. Okay, so let's get into that a little bit here. If you want to read my blog post, if you're not on the blog, okay, because I do put my videos on my blog, but if you're not on my blog, then you can click the link below this video that directs you to the post in order to see this in a lot more detail. I'm not going to cover every single thing here, but I'm just going to kind of touch on the key points. Okay, is one really better than the other? And before we can answer that, there's something that needs to be understood that a lot of people don't really think about, and that is absorption. Okay. So when asking the question, are liquid vitamins better absorbed? Because that's typically what people are touching on. They're saying, oh, your body's going to absorb it much better because it's a liquid. Okay, and that's not necessarily the case. That's not necessarily true. Um, so, what we have to first recognize is that there is a difference between absorption and solubility, okay, of a vitamin supplement or a pill, a medication, whatever. Now, absorption in this context is basically your body's ability to absorb, to take in and use the nutrients that are found in food or in supplements, okay? Kind of like a sponge's ability to absorb water. Now, solubility, on the other hand, is the ability of that supplement to actually dissolve and break down. So when I see different companies try to prove that liquid vitamin supplements are better absorbed, just simply based on the premise that when they pour the liquid into water and then put a handful of pills into water and stir them up, that the pills, are not dissolving, but the liquid has just dispersed and, and it's already, throughout the water. That's not necessarily proving that you will absorb it better. Okay, and we're going to touch on the reasons why. So why some may not properly absorb nutrients? Well, the reason, or one main reason, is that some people have a severely, heavily impacted colon. Okay, much of the absorption, the breaking down of nutrients, whether it's from food or supplements, takes place in the colon. Okay, and if your colon, there's, if you were to, cut open a colon and look under like a microscope, you would see these finger-like projections called villi. And if there's, impacted feces because, you having problems with your digestive system, you're not going every day, or if you do go every day, it's, like constipated and stuff like that. So if you're not having really good, smooth, clean bowel movements, and those villi in your colon walls are, impacted with feces and mucus and toxins and all kinds of stuff, then you're going to have a much harder time with that supplement being absorbed. Okay. Another factor that plays a role in whether or not you're going to absorb nutrients properly Sometimes it can be your state of health, if you're like really sickly or you got a lot of other issues going on in your body and sicknesses and diseases or whatever, that could play a factor. Age can play a factor. The older you get, more elderly years and things like that, sometimes your absorption slows down, and things like that. So that stands to say that even if people that have those issues that I just mentioned going on, whether they take a liquid supplement uh, or a pill, then their body is probably not going to absorb that nutrition, at least not as well as it could or should. Okay, so now we're going to ask, so do liquid vitamins absorb better? Okay, again, it depends on the conditions of the person taking them. But let's say we're talking about and looking at an average healthy adult person, okay, who is of average typical normal weight or whatever, and they don't have a lot of excessive health challenges going on, and they, are, their digestive system is working fairly well, or working well, and if they took a vitamin supplement that was in liquid form as opposed to pill form, does that necessarily mean that their body's going to absorb the liquid better? Possibly, okay, just because of the fact that it is a liquid and it's already broken down. Because despite what I just said previously about, the conditions of the person, if you are taking pills that are really, really cheaply and poorly made, okay, they're not really good quality, they're hard coated with, this thick coating that just does not dissolve, or it just takes forever, and they're basically, before, by the time they get to dissolve, they've already gone through your system, and so they become what's known as bedpan pills, and they're basically being flushed down the toilet because they're coming out in your feces, right? So if you're taking that kind of supplement, then yeah, a liquid vitamin supplement would definitely be superior to something like that. But there are other forms of pills aside from the really big horse pill tablets, okay? There are soft gel caps, okay, that have either herbs or powder or liquid inside. Those would definitely break down a lot faster and easier than the horse pills. Then there are maybe caplets, okay, that they tend to not have a lot of thick extra coating and fillers and all that stuff. And then there are chewables, okay, that we have to think about, that definitely, they get chewed up and everything. So now I was reading about the gummies. Okay, I know gummies are becoming popular because they taste good, right? It's like, well, liquid vitamin supplements is kind of touch and go because it might taste real vitamin-y and nasty or whatever. So some people don't want to take it because of that, but then they don't want to swallow big old pills either, right? So they tend to lean towards either chewables, which that's kind of touch and go too because it might be real chalky or whatever. A lot of people, because of those reasons, are turning to gummy vitamins. Okay, gummy vitamins, even though they may have a little kick to them or whatever, but they're making them taste really good nowadays, and so a lot of people are switching over to those. But you got to ask yourself, with all the added sugar and flavorings and things like that to make it taste good and palatable to you, are you really getting the full, nutrition that you should be getting, from them? Does it even leave enough room to give you a nice, good boost of nutrition and things that you need, that your body needs? So, that's one thing to consider when you're talking about gummy vitamins. But, I'm just saying all that to say that um, the general consensus is that liquid is not necessarily better than pills. It just depends on the type of pill that you're taking. Again, if it's something that's not even breaking down and dissolving, and going through the dissolution process, then definitely a liquid vitamin would outshine that. But the other ones, you just got to kind of, do your research, do your due diligence, look at reviews, Look at how the quality of what's in them, the ingredients. Are the sources of vitamins and minerals coming from whole foods, or is it synthetic? Is it coming from synthetic man-made sources? And things like that. So does it have a lot of extra unnecessary stuff, in there that your body really can't use, and things like that. So, in order to ensure that you're benefiting and getting the most out of your multivitamin, again, is to choose a good supplement with good ingredients in it. Okay, the better the ingredients, the better it's going to be for your body. And then I will also suggest that you consider making the switch if you're taking like one a days or the generic brand of one a day or whatever, the big horse pills that are hard coated and hard to dissolve and break down. Switch from that to something else, okay, whether it's a liquid or a gel cap or something, that is going to break down in your body. But again, look at the ingredients, make sure you got good stuff going in. All right, so I do have a recommendation, liquid vitamin supplement that I personally use, my family uses. It's really, really good, and it's very, very power packed. It has a lot of good stuff in it. So there's going to be a link below the video on my blog post. It's this button here, but if you're not on my blog, then you can click the link below the video that will take you to where you can learn more information about the supplement that I personally use and recommend. Okay, so hopefully this has been informative to you and helpful to you. And if it has, make sure you like it and share it with others. Okay, so till next time, bye for now.